it's me, Repulse, back in another video. In today's video, we have another Chelsea news video. There's been a decent amount that's actually kicked off in the last 24 hours. Expected it to be slower news week just because, obviously we had the here we go for Drill hat, so we're working on only one deal as of now, maybe two if you want to count Garnacho, which might be later in the window, but we do have a lot to get into. We're going to start off speaking on the name that I just brought up in Alejandro Garnacho. Fabrizio earlier on today said that Alejandro Garnacho is keen on joining Chelsea. It was his priority in January. We know we were in for him in January and tried to offer in Nkunku for Garnacho swap. But yeah, it was his priority in January, and he's still keen on the move this summer. Chelsea are considering to bid later this month for Garnacho as said for weeks, and he's waiting for Chelsea as priority despite bids from abroad. We know Napoli were interested. I don't know many other clubs that were interested in Alejandro Garnacho, but don't know if Napoli will go in for Garnacho. We know that they have interest in Raheem Sterling as well. They asked for conditions on the deal, so really have to see how that develops. We know Sterling also has interest from Fulham, but I don't expect many suitors for Garnacho bar Chelsea. So I think Chelsea will have their way with negotiations. I think they'll be able to negotiate for a decent price here. I know we're looking to sign him for around £30 million, which I think is completely fair because he has loads of potential as a player. I hate to admit it, I don't like the guy, but he has loads of potential as a player. I think, personality isn't really all that great. Obviously, most of it is tied to his brother, but, you can probably attest to that being a family thing. I think he's a little bit egotistical, but, that's fair. He's very, very potential heavy. Think he needs to have a better product on the pitch, but again, if you're signing him to be an experiment for around £30 million, I don't think that's a bad deal at all. I think that gives him, the fee that shows, hey, there's not a lot of pressure on you to succeed. We paid this amount of money, which is not expensive at all. We also have Gittins through the door. We might be getting Xavi Simons. So yeah, you can really sit around and develop for a little bit if you want to find your level head and succeed at Chelsea. And I think that's one of the things we're doing, and that's why we're considering to bid, not officially gonna bid, because we need to see how things develop. But it seems like it'll be something near deadline day if we do bring in Alejandro Garnacho, and it might be on our conditions if that does happen. So yeah, we will see how this deal develops. But more, Matt Law said on the London Blue podcast that Garnacho has his heart set on Chelsea if a move is possible. Basically saying he'd reject every other club to come to Chelsea, which, I do think actually does happen. Yeah, I don't think Garnacho's as bad as portrayed. I think a lot of it is due to Manchester United, but I don't think he also is as good as sometimes portrayed. I think there's definitely a lot of hype there because social media really runs with Manchester United well, so he gets a lot of prop there, but then at the same time he does get a lot of stick if he doesn't perform well, so it really fluctuates. It's really just what side of the coin you really want to look at. Alejandro Garnacho won, and I think, he is a good player. I think he could become an even better player and kick on in the right environment if he just finds a level head, gets an arm around his shoulder, and says, get your head down, go score goals, go assist. I think he could really do that if he polishes his game in the final third. So yeah, we'll see how this deal develops. It seems like it's something that, again, will probably likely end up being something near deadline day or around that time period. Later in the month is when I expect this deal to really facilitate and pick up some steam. As of now, it's just links saying Chelsea are pretty much prepared to do something if the opportunity arises. But yeah, that is that on Alejandro Garnacho. One thing on both Alejandro Garnacho and Xavi Simons, because this does affect both of them, is at the moment in the window, Chelsea are focused on selling as many players as possible and then attack on incomings. So, the links on Xavi Simons may extend out a little bit, as well as the links on Alejandro Garnacho. Obviously, we knew we were planning on signing Alejandro Garnacho later in the month, but the links on Xavi Simons may, extend a little bit further than we thought. We thought, hey, it may be a quick negotiation. We may get him within a couple days, but it doesn't seem like that's necessarily the case anymore. It seems like it's going to drag out maybe a week or two. But I do think we get him in either before Crystal Palace or after the Crystal Palace game before game week 2. I think we could see Xavi Simons become a Chelsea player then. Obviously, we don't leave London for like the first 6 match days of the season, I think, or something like that, which is absolutely absurd. I'm really glad that we have that because obviously need players to be home after the Club World Cup and just be able to, go back to either their apartments or houses and just rest their legs. So yeah. We are focused on the outgoings rather than the incomings right now, so that kind of puts a halt to the Siemens deal as well as the Garnacho links as of now. But, if a price drops or if Chelsea find a way to, negotiate an outgoing, I expect these deals to pick up. And speaking on Xavi Simons' behalf, Fabrizio said yesterday that the conversation is going very well between Chelsea and Leipzig for Xavi Simons. Obviously, we know it's the hierarchy negotiating a deal rather than the sporting director, so not going to be an official bid until pretty much the entire deal is agreed upon, and then there will be a formal offer. So yeah, conversation seems to be going well. I expect this deal to progress slowly now, as we know we're looking for outgoings rather than just attacking these incomings. I don't think it's a necessary that we focused on all outgoings. I think we can still buy the players if we don't bring anyone in. But I do think we'd rather bring the money in so the net spend doesn't look all that bad and we still have negotiating power. So yeah, the conversation seems to be going well. Deal's most likely progressing day by day, but just slower than the Drill Hato deal, obviously. But more. Ben Jacobs said there's optimism on Siemens, but the challenge is that Leipzig, like Brentford with Emblemo and Wissa, may not want to lose two players. So the first to go out of Xavi and Šeško may take the other players' price more complicated. Chelsea may move fast in the coming days because now is the best chance to get him for the £60 million number over the line. My sense is if Šeško gets done first, it will become a whole lot harder to do Siemens for that £60 million price. I don't know. Obviously, it's Ben Jacobs reporting it, so very reliable, very good source. But I don't know the legitimacy of this, to be honest. Obviously, it's opinion based. It says that Leipzig may drive up the fee. If Šeško goes, it's a lot of ifs, maybes, ifs, buts. So I don't know if there's true legitimacy to this. I don't know if Leipzig are just gonna straight up hold firm and ask for more money after that. I don't think that's really the case because they obviously view Xavi Simons and Benjamin Šeško as separate topics, which is why they're negotiating simultaneously. I don't think it's really a thing of they only want to let go of one. I think they could let go of both and be pretty pleased with that. So yeah, it'll be intriguing to see how the deals develop. Obviously, we know Benjamin Šeško has a lot of interest from Manchester United. It's just whether or not they really want to pay that price as of now, and that's yet to be determined. And it's also if they have the money. Obviously, they need outgoings, so Chelsea probably have more of negotiating power on the Garnacho deal due to that. Just because Man United are going to say, hey, we need money to facilitate this deal. Obviously, Chelsea know that they're interested in Benjamin Šeško. They know the price tag due to social media. So yeah, I mean, I think this deal does go through, and I don't think Leipzig really hold firm for much more than £60 million, even if Šeško does go through. So yeah, again, questioning the legitimacy of this because I think it's very opinion based. So there's that. But more, Fabrizio said that Chelsea wants to spend less than the price tag that Leipzig are asking for Xavi Simons. It's not in danger at this stage, but it is an important point. Chelsea plan is to make sure they can complete some outgoings first before going back to advance more on Simons. So yeah, again, it doesn't say it's it's not mandated that we let players go, but we do want to make sure that there's deals lined up for them to leave before we go back for Xavi. Obviously, net spend's very important. We have deal with UEFA, so we can see how that develops. But I do expect Chelsea to be able to let go of players pretty frequently this window. I think there's a lot of interest in our players. So yeah, we'll pretty much just see how those deals develop and see how much money we get in for them, because I think that's a great indicator of how quick this Xavi Simons deal can go. The quicker that the outgoings come, the quicker that Xavi Simons does come through the door, in my opinion. So yeah, we'll definitely see about that. But more. Fabrizio said that Chelsea hope to reduce the price for Xavi Simons, also because he has 2 years left on his contract. Didn't sign a long-term deal at RB Leipzig, which is really good. It gives us negotiating power in this deal. Obviously, Xavi Simons is keen on the move, so he does want to come here. He's expected to sign a long contract at Chelsea. So, see, obviously, there's a broad personal term agreement, but not full agreement yet. So yeah, we'll see how this deal continues to develop, because don't know if Leipzig are able to budge from that £60 million, because obviously you're negotiating with 3 teams. You're negotiating with PSG on top of Leipzig, just because obviously the sell-on clauses, as well as the add-ons, we don't know how much was paid. So Leipzig do have a little bit of complicated power in this negotiation, just because obviously PSG are involved in this as well. But I do think we will be able to reduce the price of Xavi Simons. If he wants the move, if there's only 2 years left on his contract, we can expect some movement on that price tag. And then fast forward to today, if it allows me to. There we go. Florian Plettenberg said that Chelsea are still working on a deal for Xavi Simons. A verbal agreement is almost done. I don't know if that means a verbal agreement between clubs or a verbal agreement between player on personal terms, but um, yeah, I guess that's yet to be seen, yet to be known. I guess that will be clarified hopefully sometime soon. But Florian Plettenberg said that there's a strong feeling that this deal will go through. I forgot to put this on, but let me see if I can find the tweet. Um, it was from Fabrizio. It was a reply to someone. If it allows me to find it, it was from yesterday, so long time ago, but I think I should be able to find it at some point. There we go. Post was deleted by the author. It was from CFC Daily. It was something along the lines of like, "Oh, this Xavi Simons deal may collapse," because of what Ben Jacobs said on Alex Goldberg's podcast. And then this dude, Ishmael 2002, decided to say that 70% from Fab was a red flag, and then Fabrizio said, let's do 75% then, basically saying he's very confident on this deal being able to be facilitated and to go through. So yeah, we'll definitely see how this deal develops, but it seems like every single party is confident that this deal will go through, and we are ready to submit an offer. But again, offloads are needed first, so it depends on how much players we can let go before this deal really progresses to where it's supposed to be. But it is currently independent of Chelsea's interest in Alejandro Garnacho, which we know we could probably bring in both, not just one. We know we want 9 attackers, and as of now, we do have Nicholas Jackson and Nkunku in the fold. But I'm just gonna let those names go by real quick. As of now, we have Delap, we have João Pedro, we have Gittins, we have wow, I'm blinking. Delap, João Pedro, Gittins, Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer, Esteval. Who else? Tyreek George, I guess. Nkunku and Jackson. That's 9 as of now. If you want to include them, I know I'm missing some names here. 100%. I know I'm missing some names. Maybe not, but it seems like I am as of now. But yeah, we do need some more attackers in the fold. We have 9 right now, but Nkunku's definitely going to leave the club. I think Jackson does leave the club, so that'll leave us on 7 attackers if Tyree George stays. I think, because again, João Pedro, Delap as the 2 strikers. You have Palmer at the 10. You have Esteval and Pedro Neto on the right-hand side, and then you have Gittins on the left, so that makes 6 of them now, and then you want Tyreek George there. You can put Tyreek George there. So yeah, we have 7 as of now. So I think you could bring both in and it be rationalized. So we'll see how those deals develop on both of those players. But more, Philippines Hinze, I don't know, said the Dutchman has deleted Red Bull Leipzig from his Instagram page. Coincidence? More likely clear signal that he wants to leave the club. Xavi and his camp continue to push for a move. The situation remains the same. Chelsea are the most concrete suitor. Leipzig are still demanding 70 million euros all in, including add-ons. Deal on. Leipzig are waiting for the first written offer. So again, it seems like Chelsea are just holding out for outgoings to really go in for the Xavi Simons deal, but it seems like this deal will be agreed at some point in the summer. I'm fully confident that he does become a Chelsea player, bar a hijack, but again, it seems like Xavi Simons will become a Chelsea player. I don't have any doubts that he will. Everyone seems confident from all parties. Every single report has been, this deal's still on, this deal's still happening. It might just take a little bit. So yeah, we'll see how this deal progresses because it seems like it's going to go a lot longer than initially anticipated. But again, a lot longer than initially anticipated is probably just going to be a couple weeks rather than a couple days. So we'll see how this deal progresses. But again, I expect Xavi Simons to be wearing Chelsea blue. But moving on to Jurel Hato, Mike Verweg on Jurel Hato's 43 million euro transfer to Chelsea, which is around 37 million pounds, said that he doesn't think there are any bonuses but a percentage of a resale value, basically saying there's no add-ons, but there is a sell-on clause for Jurel Hato. So basically just clarifying everything on the deal, no add-ons or anything like that. So it's just straight up 37 million pounds and then a sell-on clause for Jurel Hato. If he does end up moving from Chelsea, which I don't know if he will, because I do think he becomes a starter here, and I think he becomes a very good player at Chelsea. But more, Fabrizio said that understand Jurel Hato starts his medical as new Chelsea player later today. Documents completed by Chelsea and Ajax, player undergoing medical, then set to sign contract valid until June 2032, with an added year after that. Deal done and confirmed. So we can expect the Joao Hato announcement sometime soon, and maybe play in the game against Leverkusen or AC Milan, because the way I expect us to facilitate those games are we have two separate 11s that play those games, and then we treat it like actual games with subs coming off the bench. So yeah, we'll see um, how Chelsea manage those games, because obviously we play a game on the 8th and then the 10th, so it'll be intriguing. But I expect Joel Hatton to feature, and he will be announced as a new Chelsea player sometime soon, so we can all look out for that. But moving on to Nkunku. Matteo Moretto on Fabrizio Romano's Italian YouTube said that Inter's alternative to Lookman, Ademola Lookman, who they are very interested in, placed multiple bids for, uh, but their alternative, if they do not get him between tomorrow and Saturday morning, will be Christopher Nkunku. There would be an issue with his high salary, though, says Matteo Moretto again. And then this came out today. Atalanta have just formed Inter Milan about their decision to reject their 45 million euro bid for Ademola Lookman. So it's really, really tight. Something will budge. I assume something will budge in the coming days to see if obviously Christopher Nkunku does have links with Inter Milan and excuse me, I am messing up my words right now. If Ademola Lookman does not go to Inter Milan, then Nkunku will be the replacement, and I fully expect this to happen because it doesn't seem like Atalanta are really budging. It seems like they want to keep Ademola Lookman there, or get the price that they are looking for, which is around 50 million. So yeah, that is pretty much everything. There may be another news video, but Chelsea Dodger just posted something as well. Let me see if I can find the tweet. Excuse me for a second. Let's pull up Chelsea Dodgers page, because it is more Garnacho news, actually. Chelsea Dodger. There we go. The Blue Dodger. Go follow him on Twitter if you do want latest updates. But again, Garnacho to Chelsea is something that won't happen right away. It's going to take some time before they enter into that. Chelsea have to sell players as they want to find solutions for current players before signing more. Also, the valuation will be important. Timing is relaxed, not at the negotiation stage. So again, nothing's really going to happen there until later in the window. If we do find a good suitor for Alejandro Garnacho, then something will develop there. But yeah, that is, again, everything. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Maybe a news video layout later today or early morning tomorrow. Depends on the, developments of the news and, the frequency that they come out with. So, again, news might be out later today, might be out early tomorrow. So, could expect a news video sometime soon in the next, 16 hours or so. So yeah, again, if you did enjoy this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for the support. Again, hit 200 subs, so thank you all so much for that. But as always, it's Repulse, and I'm out. Thanks again. Peace.